Angie, I'm assuming you're going to tell me when it's time to not
I
shut up
was I
anymore.
was
Yeah.
just I was just slacking my team to make sure we were good to get started because I was like,
Okay.
are we waiting for anyone else? But we do have the recording going, right?
I
So I
like it.
think we're good to go. And I did see Rachel asked if last month got recorded. I believe it did. So we will be getting that out on YouTube. Lauren, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you know?
Yes,
Okay.
we did. It's just a matter of it's getting edited. So
Okay.
we're still
Perfect.
working on the editing.
Okay. Good. Sounds good. So
Hi,
we will
Amy Hart. How are you?
have that coming soon.
I'm good.
Good. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, we are so excited to have you here with us today, Michelle. Thank you so much for being our guest for this month's Lady Titans Spotlight Series. This is our monthly meeting where we get together and we focus on something that will help us all just grow and thrive and really excel as women in the trades. So thank you for being our guest. We know
Aw.
that you have been a great partner, Service Titan. Michelle was at our Toolbox Live event in October where we focused on call centers and shared some really amazing tips on recruiting and training and operations and systems that just everyone really loved that, so thank you. But she's more than just a call center. She has the pink colors, but she has so much more depth to her. And so when I asked her, what would be helpful for us as women in the trades as we're getting ready to wrap up the holidays, to jump into 2024, and she had a really cool topic that I think will resonate with all of us. And so Michelle, I'm going to let you introduce the topic and share that with all of us. But again, we just want to thank you for being here and turn the time over to you.
You. Thank you so much, Angie. I'm so grateful. Thank you. So welcome. I'm Michelle. Like Angie said, I have a company called Pink Collars, and we put outsourced CSRs and dispatchers in your business. Amy's one of our clients. I'm happy to see her here. And in addition to that, I'm a mom. So I was on mom duty today. This is why I'm wearing the goofy hat, because you have to embarrass your children, no matter how old they are, at their school and stuff at the holidays. So that's why I have the silly hat on today. I am a systems weirdo, dyed in the wool, and very happy to say that. And so I really like building frameworks and systems in which I can actually achieve things. I probably have some undiagnosed ADHD or maybe some patterns of, flightiness with my visionary style, but I find that when I put a structure around things that I want to accomplish, I get them done a lot faster. So that's how we're going to lead today. We're going to talk about goal setting. And it's funny because we're all at the end of the year, right? And so we're all looking at our finances and our families and our bodies and, all the things. And there's probably a few areas that we want to impact as we move through and into next year. This has been a big year of change for my own personal company, so I get it. And I actually have been working on this exact framework myself. So in addition to what we're going to see on the slides and on the slide deck, I'm going to put a Google Drive link in the chat here, and all the collateral materials that I have will be in a Google Drive link. Just click on that link, download it. That's the easiest way to share it. Putting it in chat here in Zoom sometimes gets a little wonky. So look for that at the very end. So you can print all these pieces of material and you can go for it when we're done. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen right over here. Boom. So goal setting, that's what we're going to talk about. I didn't have time to make the nail polish pink. Please don't hold it against me. Although I did think about it. I thought I want to change Lady Titan's fingernail polish to be pink, but I didn't get to it. So I'm sorry. But again, that's me. And that's what we're going to talk about, goal setting. Okay. You don't need to see me again. But who here has started sort of making New Year's resolutions by show of hands, or does anybody want to share maybe something that they've talked about for their resolution this year? Anybody? Ooh, this is the scary part. I need some people.
I have toyed with the idea if I should make 2024 the year I run a marathon.
Oh my
I know,
word.
and I'm a little afraid to commit because it's a big commitment, but it's been on my bucket list for several years, and I think this might be the year I might make it happen.
Emily, that's huge.
I
Thank you
know,
for
I
sharing.
know. It's
Thank
kind
you
of
for
scary to say
sharing.
that out loud. Way to make me say that out loud to everyone. So
Sorry, you did it. Okay, beautiful. Anybody else want to jump in?
Oh, I will. I'll
Yeah,
jump in.
please.
I am going to make a concrete plan to have people over for dinner at least once a month.
Oh, that's a good one. I love that. I love that one. That one's so good. Okay, anybody else?
I am going to start a YouTube channel.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I've been saying it for 2 years and I just need to start. I have that like perfectionism, like, freeze, and I'm just
Okay.
going to do it.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's so good. And if you see any chats, anybody, Angie, if you see a chat that I need to respond to, if you could just tell me, that would be great. I'm sorry, it's just off the other screen. So, okay, one that I'm going to do in my health and wellness, which is also very scary to talk about, is I've hired somebody that's going to help me kind of file down and whittle down my body and help my health and wellness. I'm noticing at this age that my capacity is starting to diminish a little bit. So I'm going to work on that at a cellular level. So I actually hired Tommy Mello's guy. I'm completely freaked out. He's got me on all these pills. I'm kind of weirded out, but it's working, and I'll keep everybody posted. So that's mine. So okay, cool. So your work doesn't wholly define you. I know that that's something I struggle with for sure. And neither do your family or relationships, but your life is super multifaceted. And Michael Hyatt, one of my favorite authors, talks about the 10 major domains that determine who we are as a person. So when we're making a goal or setting something for New Year, I think it's really important that we see the person as a holistic thing. Like everybody had something different. Some were physical, some were emotional. Amy, I love that you're going to have people over for dinner. So let's talk about those 10 segments of who we are. And that might help those of us who don't have a goal quite yet hone down maybe into one of these areas and pick a goal for this year. Okay, so I'm going to list them off pretty quickly. Spiritual, right? Intellectual, marital, a parental goal, embarrass your children at their holiday events, a physical goal, right? Get on vitamins, run a marathon, an emotional goal, a social goal, a work goal, pardon me, a hobby or an avocational goal. We don't see that word very often anymore, and a financial goal. So of these 10, think of one that kind of resonates with you and maybe write it down on a piece of paper if you're at your desk, or hold it in your mind for something that we're going to do next. So think about those 10. Okay. And then once you've got 1 out of 10, maybe if you're a superstar, you're going to do 2 out of 10. And SMART that goal. All of us have probably heard of this acronym SMART, right? And it's something that I really have figured out this year as we have put traction in our company in the last 18 months. And so smarting a goal is so important. And my team has gotten a lot better at it this year. But is the goal specific, right? Is it measurable? I loved yours about Emily, about running the marathon. So it's specific, right? It's a marathon. It's measurable. It's something that you're going to either do or not do, right? It's achievable. Absolutely. I mean, you may need to read some books or hire a coach or go to some sort of a gym, right? There's something there that you may have to do to make it achievable. Is it relevant? Well, yeah, because you've been thinking about it for a really long time. And then is it timely? So does it have an end date? And again, you just put the year. So making sure that you have that SMART framework is really important, because if these goals get too squishy, as I call it, we don't really achieve them. And so having these components of the goal, really, really important, okay? So when you're thinking about breaking down a goal, there's a platform called Getting What You Want. It's an EOS tool. And this is one of the sheets that you'll get as part of the collateral. And it's a really nice way to break up the year. And Emily, you're going to be my superstar example here, to break up the year into what Emily wants to achieve, right? She's going to have to select when in the year this marathon is going to occur. It's going to occur Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So she would likely put the marathon date and the specifics in whatever quarter it occurred. And then she's going to backfill what she needs to do in the other quarters. And I love quarterly goals because they kind of break them down a little bit. And she's going to have to break down what she needs to achieve in Q2 and 1, or just in Q1 if she's a superstar and this thing's happening in June. what's going to happen, right? So getting what you want is a really nice way to take a big goal and break it into quarterly segments so that you can start to time jump and time work on this goal. Okay. Anybody have a question while I'm here? Are we good? So good? Okay. Beautiful. Now that you have the year goal broken down into quarters, now you can actually break it into 2-week segments. So every quarter is 12 weeks, right? And you can break that goal down into 2-week segments. This could be an exercise plan. For me, it could be my nutrition goals, right? What do I want to eat or not eat starting at the beginning of the year? I started in December and I'm kind of holding strong, but I'm not doing super good. So this is on my sheet right now. So who's responsible for this goal? Well, in Emily's, in my case, it's me or her. But if you're working with a collaborative team at your business, who's responsible to help you with this goal, right? Who can help you? And what's the timeline? You always want to make sure that you keep the people and the time really close at hand so that you're working on something together, like maybe a financial goal in your business or an operational goal in your company. You can say, okay, myself and the operations team is going to work on this goal, and every other week we're going to check in with each other. So you can see there's a little column for activity. There's a metric. How do we measure this activity that we're doing together if we are working with someone else? Or how do we measure it against ourselves? How do we hold ourselves accountable? So again, breaking it down even further really helps me not fly off, right? Okay. So getting what you want is what that's called. And we use it here at Pink Collars all the time and we love it. Okay. And that gets us to my favorite part is called the 1-page miracle. I'm a pretty cut and dry person. If there's a lot of complexity to any sort of system, it kind of freaks me out. So I like things to be distilled down. So on the slide, this is a little bit small to read, but I'm going to read it to you guys anyway, because I think it's really important. This is from an author named Daniel Arwin, and he says, "What do I want and what am I doing to make it happen?" So you tell your brain what you want, right? And your brain will help you match your behavior to get it. Your brain helps you make it happen and what it sees. Your brain helps you make happen what it sees, pardon me. When you focus on negativity, you will feel depressed. Who's ever had a goal and the negative part of the goal has kind of chased them? I mean, I know I have, especially if it has to do with, health or wellness or weight. For me, that's my Achilles heel. So if you focus on fear, you're likely to feel anxious. If you focus on achieving your goals, you are much more likely to achieve them. Too many people are thrown around by the whims of the day rather than using their brains to plan their lives and follow through on their goals. Ooh, this is so good. The most powerful yet simple motivation exercise that I have ever designed is called the 1-page miracle. It will help guide your thoughts, your words, and your actions. I called it the 1-page miracle because I've seen this exercise quickly focus and change many people's lives. Here are the directions. On the following form, and we'll see it in the next slide, clearly write out your major goals in the following areas. Remember Michael Hyatt a couple slides ago, he had those 10 areas. The 1-page miracle distills those 10 down to 4. So now we're drilling down even more. This 1-page miracle can cover relationships, whether it's your spouse, your love, your parents, your siblings, your friends, or your extended family, your work or social or school, short and long-term school and work goals, your money, right? Short and long-term financial goals, and then yourself. So those physical goals, emotional or spiritual. In each section, we're going to succinctly write out what's important to us in that area. Write what you want, not what you don't want. Ooh, this one's hard because again, I can sometimes go negative. Be positive and use the first person. Write what you want with confidence and the expectation that you will make it happen to include what you are currently doing to make it happen. Work on these goals over time. After you finish it, Look at your one-page miracle every day. And before you do anything or say anything, I want you to ask yourself, is my behavior getting me what I want? Full disclosure, this one-page miracle is taped up in the glass drawer or the glass cabinet in my house. So you get a sink and the glass cabinet is right next to it. You open it up and my one-page miracle is right there, right next to my coffee cups. So I have zero chance to avoid it. It's horrible. Okay. The areas of relationship, school, work and finance, and self are all separated in order to encourage you to have a more balanced approach to your life. Burnout occurs when our lives become unbalanced and we are overextending ourselves in one of the areas and ignoring another. As women, I think we can do that so quickly. We can overextend in family or overextend in work, and we can get ourselves wee-wad, as I say. Okay. So now the framework for change is this one little page. And again, full disclosure, it's in my coffee cabinet. It's there. So what do I want? And what am I doing to make it happen? It's just that simple. It doesn't have to be super complicated. So this little piece of paper, I believe, can be a life changer for all of us. Okay, so you're going to see it's broken down really simply. I made it super simple. Relationships at the top, work and school second, finances, physical health or self, and spiritual wellness and emotional health. So let your brain stop and design and implement your life. Work forward for the goals that are important to you. Many other people or corporations are happy to decide what you should do with your life. Use this one-page miracle to help you be the one who has the say. Your brain receives and creates reality. Give it some direction in designing your life. That's a big one. Oh, that's big. So when we're done today, I'm going to encourage everybody to print this bad boy out and do this. And it's going to be scary. It is not easy. But I encourage you to do it. And the smallness of the lines is actually purposeful. I don't want you to go off into a tangent about anything super complicated. It can be just a couple of words that you want to accomplish in any of these areas. I loved, again, Amy, what you said about having people over for dinner. I took a room in our house and put 4 chairs in it for our family. We call it the keeping room. And it's been the place now that we as a family connect the most. We have games there. We have dinner there some nights. We sit there. And so last year, one of my goals was to have more focused family time, not just around the table or in front of the TV, but like just talking to each other. I have teenagers and our time is going to be short and they're not going to want to talk to me forever. So I want to spend as much time as I can. So that was one of the goals, and just the simple act of buying 4 chairs, it seems super weird, but it changed the way we communicate. So it's absolutely possible. And it was one of my goals for this year. So does anybody want to get brave and say anything on here that resonates with them that they would like to make happen this year? Anybody? Don't be scared. I need another one. Oh, Amy, thank you for the heart. I need another one, maybe a financial one or work one. Give it to me.
I'll share one, Michelle. I have been a lot like you, thinking about my physical health and what I need to do to get better. And it's always been a focus for my life, but sometimes you just get used to the same old. And I'm like, I got to change things up a little bit. And so was something that I did, just thinking about these different areas and just the way you put it together and thinking about how to stay focused on it is thinking about my birthday that's coming up in March and how I'm going to be, and thinking about the birthday gift that I want to give myself in 3 months, and thinking about, like, on my birthday, the best thing would be to have just this feeling really great and just in optimal health, and what it would take to get there and what I need to be doing now. And so every day I'm thinking about that gift I want to be able to give myself in 3 months, and making better choices and decisions today because because I care about myself in 3 months and want to have a good gift for myself in 3 months.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's so good. That's so good. It's beautiful. I've heard somebody say that we should treat ourselves like somebody we want to take care of. I know that's so easy to do with everybody else, but then I'm like, somebody I want to take care of? You mean me? I get all strung up on that one too. So I totally get that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Anybody else? No?
I'll share mine. Over the last year, I've been really trying to focus on my physical health as well, and was met a huge goal and actually lost over 100 pounds in the last year. So that was big. But that was really all diet. And my foe has always been being motivated to exercise. So this year, my goal is really finding reasons to, other reasons that can help promote me to want to exercise. So one of the big things I'm doing is, focusing on like building, putting it into my goals when I'm looking at like like you have there, my spouse, being able to spend time with him. So just taking a stroll at night, that's exercise, that's getting up, that's getting out, and it's spending time with him, quality time. There's no phones or TVs or anything to distract us. And then, that also helps with the mental health as well. It's finding something that I enjoy, doing that I can do on my own too, to have me time. So just trying to, work my main goal into, a little bit of each of my other smaller goals as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so good. Thank you for sharing. That's beautiful. Oh, anybody else? No? Okay. Let's keep going. We got a lot of change happening here. Okay, so I have these for you in a link. This slide was for putting them on Trello, so I'm going to put them in a link here in the chat here in just a second. But I also wanted to share a couple tools that have really helped me besides the one-page miracle. I think we always need to be in development, self-development, and I'm a mom on the go. If it's not Taylor Swift on my car stereo, then it really doesn't exist in my world. So I have to find other places to listen to things, not my car. And Headway has been an app that has been a game changer. It reminds me of different things I want to consume, books and materials mostly. But it distills down a lot of those business books or leadership books or self-help books that you might have been putting off because you just don't have time. And so it's kind of like Cliff's Notes for these books. And so if you have any bandwidth to put this guy on your phone, I highly recommend it. There's a QR code there, but it's just called Headway. And I have been able to consume multiple books because of this distilled sort of version. So grab yourself that bad boy because it's really helpful. Okay. Questions. Who's got questions before I go to the last thing? Anybody? I want us to print our one-page miracles together if you want to do them together. That was another thing we could do while we're all here. And let me put that in the chat while I'm thinking about it. Badoom, right there. Okay, Google Chat is there. So feel free to open that guy and print away.
I have a
Yeah,
question while people are getting those printed.
Yeah,
Hold
please.
on.
Yeah.
As my dog is
Of
our
course.
baby Amazon truck, of course.
Of course.
How do you use this with your team? Just thinking about like, this is a great experience and opportunity for us to do. How would you adjust this or modify this or work through this with your team? Because as we're developing our team members, we're helping them all perform at a higher level too. So just curious as to your thoughts as how you would use this with your team. And maybe that's your next thing. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, it's okay. No, it's absolutely a great question. And I think the one that is quarterly, this one right here is a great place to start with your team because quarterly goals are pretty standard in most businesses. And so I would start with a quarterly goal, whether it's with your CSRs, your operations, your technicians. Maybe it's the finances that they bring in. Maybe it's the callback percentage, KPIs, whatever it is that you want them to be thinking of or be mindful of. You could build it in this quarterly worksheet. I just think it takes the year and like shrinks it down. And then once it's quarterly, I just love the fact that you can shrink it down even more to an every other week cadence. I think as business owners, sometimes it can be hard to have weekly team meetings with your team. But if you're doing goal setting and you just check in on it, it can be 5 to 10 minutes and you can say, okay, what's gone on in this last 2 weeks to get us to the goal that we identified for you for this quarter. And it just, again, breaks it down into sort of bite-sized chunks. So I like that cadence too. I think, if you have weekly stand-ups, you don't want to interrupt those because this is really so personal to the technician or to the CSR. You really want to get some one-on-one time with them. And again, 5 minutes is really all it takes. So
Michelle, you mentioned like having your one pager like very visible, like right by your coffee cup. And so kind of
Yeah.
piggybacking off what Angie was talking about. So for our team, we kind of went through a goal setting exercise and like a SMART goal and things like that. And then we're lemon seeds. So we made them some little like lemonade jars, but
perfect.
we let them kind of like write or kind of draw or make a symbol of some of their goals, and like we hung those in our break room, so it allowed them to like kind of get as specific or not specific as they might want. So like they might not want to write, my goal is to get out of $20,000 worth of debt,
Sure.
but they might could just put a little money symbol for I want to save more, get out of that means something to them, but it doesn't have to be like publicizing it to the whole team. But we just put those up in our break room. Just one, it can hold a little bit of accountability and like, oh, I didn't know you were working towards that. But just that visual reminder as well too has been really beneficial. And then can I share one other little thought?
Yeah, no, we have time. I love it. Please.
I was listening to a guy and he was kind of going through like his goal setting. And I love how you're talking about breaking those up into quarters. Yeah. And so, he had a huge weight loss goal to like lose 150 pounds, but he's like, I didn't start by going on a super strict diet or exercising 3 hours a day or anything like that. He's like, I started by my goal for the first part was getting up, getting in my car and driving to the gym and then leaving 5 minutes later. He's like, I knew that was the first incremental step of like, I just have to get up and get there. That was the first little hurdle before you could tackle the bigger things. So like then once he had that nailed down, then he could exercise for 30 minutes and then up to an hour, things like that. So I love that quarterly example and how you can break those down bite-sized pieces even more.
Yeah, this sheet is very powerful. It's great for kids too, because it keeps them kind of focused, because 12 weeks can seem like an eternity, for a kiddo. So there's that too. Anybody else? I love this. I love the sharing part because I want us to be able to be vulnerable with each other and talk about, what's on our plate. Because that's important. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I got one more thing. If you're having difficulty with meetings, and you use Trello, I'm going to pass along a meeting agenda for you guys that I've done with our team, and it's really changed the game. Sometimes a meeting can go off track very quickly. All of us know that, and time can get away from people. And so EOS has a really great framework for those level 10 meetings, but they can be 90 minutes long. So this is just essentially a really small meeting agenda that can just keep your team on task and on focus for those small meetings or those huddles within your team at, that mid-level, which I find is always just a difficult part to love and nurture and get moving, is that middle sort of management folks. They're such good doers at the technician and CSR level. And then we've got the visionaries and the operations team. We've got those middle folks that really need our love and support. And so I find that any tools that you can give those folks in the new year is a really great time to start. And giving them a little tool on meetings is something I'm going to share too. So I'll put that link in here in the chat as well. Okay. And that, my people, I believe, I did have one more. I'm sorry, I forgot. If you're a weirdo like me and you like meetings that are actually pre-loaded for you and you're in Slack or Trello or Asana or HubSpot or any of these accountabilities or any of these software programs on the left side, there's a really cool app called Fellow, and it reminds you when it's time to have a one-on-one with people. It reminds you when you're time to check in on people. And again, for me, I need that little boost of a structure behind me to make sure I'm keeping up with my team and with my folks. And Fellow is just a great, great, great asset. You can load it into any of the platforms, like I said on the left, Slack, Trello, Microsoft Teams, Jira, HubSpot, G Suite, and it'll automatically pop up when it's time to take the meeting notes, and it will just prompt you on what's going to happen in that meeting. So it's a really cool little tool that we use internally here in Pink Collars as well. Okay. And I think that's all. So your goal this week is to do your one-page miracle. You've got 1 week till the end of the year. In fact, we've got what, 10 days, 11 days, 9 days? And I really want to see some people posting in the Facebook group where they hid their one-page miracle. You don't have to show anything that you wrote, but I would love to see the creativity on where you put it. Is it in a mirror near your bathroom? Is it in the closet? Is it in your car somewhere? Is it in the cabinet like mine? And I promise I'll show you mine and I'll show you where it is in the cabinet. You guys can all have a good laugh. And I hope that this will help you break it down to something that's small and something that's actionable. So hopefully that was good and helpful and short and sweet. We ended early. Look at that.
I love that. Thank you, Michelle. I just want to open it up for any more questions. If anyone has any questions for Michelle or
100% here.
Thoughts, ideas, tactics, things that you've done for goal setting that maybe along these lines or have helped you keep your goals. We'd love to hear that as well.
Yeah. Anybody?
The accountability piece is a huge, huge key to the success of whatever goal you have. And it doesn't even have to be a friend that's like doing that same goal with you or anything like that, but someone that's just helping you check on yourself, like how are you doing and stuff. And it just having to verbalize or write that out of like where you are on track, to me, is very motivational and it is a huge key to it.
Yeah. I 100% agree. 100% agree.
Yeah, I agree, Emily. I think maybe even having like an accountability partner or an accountability group will help you stay on track as well. And so, I mean, if anyone's looking for an accountability partner, maybe we can put that in the Facebook group as well.
Accountability buddy.
Accountability.
I would 100% do that. I love that.
And
That would be
just wanted to
very
share in
helpful.
chat, Courtney said, time blocking has been a great help to me for making sure I actually do those more daily actions for the bigger goals. That's huge. That's been one of my big things too, is even just creating little tasks on my Google Calendar that remind me like, hey, you need to do this. And they nag at me until I click that they're done. So yes, absolutely.
No, time blocking is a friend of mine, a very close friend. So yeah, I love that one too.
I have one thing, maybe not necessarily goal related, but it's something I do at the end of every year and talking about like sharing things with our team. I make a list of wins for the year. So based on the number of the year it is. So this year I'm making a list of 23 wins.
Oh,
Because I feel like sometimes too, I don't know why, I don't know if it's just us sometimes, like sometimes as the year wraps up, it tends to get very stressful and, you know, sometimes your focus shifts on like, oh, we should have done this or we should have done that. And it's just a really nice way to think back of all the really great things that happened this year. I feel like it gives us a good start into the new year too. So I always, yeah, once I get my 23 wins done, I share that with everybody. So
oh, Amy, how do you share that? Do you share it in person? Do you put it on a board? Like tell us the system for that. Because I love that.
both in person, but I also put it on, we use Slack, so it's in our Slack channels, and I usually make a video that goes with it. And that's kind of nice because everybody can comment on there too, and kind of, especially if like somebody else is recognized or something. Like one of our apprentices this year is on the list. She's a huge win for us, and I already know when I share it, everybody's going to kind of be cheering her on. So it's nice to just see everybody's feedback. So
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
I love that. And I actually did the same thing this year. And I posted the link to my win video in chat.
Oh, you did? Oh my gosh, Danielle, that's awesome. I can't wait to see it. That's beautiful.
I love that, Amy. We were thinking on the same wavelength, and holding yourself accountable by sharing the video is huge, because then you put it out there to the world. You're sharing those wins and making them come to fruition, and sharing positive things. And just like Michelle started with, if you share positive, you get positive back. If you dwell on the negative, that's what you get. So it's great to focus on what went well over the year, even when things tend to feel negative. Make sure that you show what's positive and what came out of it. So awesome.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're inspiring me, Amy and Danielle. I might have time to make one of those before the end of the year. I like that. It's good. I think as business owners, sometimes too, we can focus on problem solving a lot because we're always problem solving, right? And so it's easy to get stuck in that for sure. Oh, I love it. Okay, beautiful people. I don't know about you, but I've got my Christmas shopping done. Anybody else finished? Anybody else donezo? No? Oh, Danielle, good job. Of course. I love it. No, we've got some still. I'm done. I'm finished. Oh, good. Jessica says she's done. Angela says she's got tons more still. Oh, Mo. Oh, Lordy. Okay,
It's the
Danielle, you're a
wrapping.
superstar. I'm not wrapped. I'm
No,
done.
me
I didn't
either.
say wrapped.
I promised myself this year I'd actually do it ahead of time, because usually that's like my Achilles heel is wrapping, and I wait until like Christmas Eve,
Oh,
and then
gracious.
I'm like scrambling to do it, and I just hate it. So I made myself, once I got it all purchased, then I got it all wrapped and ready to go. So
Angela, top ramen is a gift that keeps on giving. That's a
yes,
beautiful gift for a child.
I think I'm going to give that to my college kid. That's all she eats.
Oh, it's so true. Oh,
That's so fun. Oh, I love this. Kristen's already
oh,
got her one pager done.
look at, I'm sorry, class superstar there. Look at her. Okay, she's,
It's
oh,
quick. It's
good.
like brief. Just like
Can we read it out loud
highlighter.
for the group? Do you mind? I love how you just did it, little blurbs. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
You're
So
gonna go out on a monthly
for
date. You read it. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh, yeah. So for myself to do schedule a monthly date, we have two toddlers. So for the last year and a half, that's been hard to do that. But now that they're older, but it's getting easier and easier to step
Oh,
away.
that's great.
And then with my parents, we did a family trip when my son was 18 months old. So it'd be fun to plan something early spring so that when my daughter is around the same age, 18 months old, to take her on another family vacation with my parents. I read a recent blog post of someone that did the 1,000 hour outside time goal with their kids and how it changed like their whole kids like emotional well-being and like their like they
Wow.
weren't so addicted to the TV or screen time or all that. They were better behaved. And so that was my husband's challenge this year to each other is to get the kids outside for 1,000 hours.
Wow.
Then host our friends group like at least once a month, whether it's here or somewhere else that we all choose to go, but at least schedule it and get it going. Work and school. I want to see a Pantheon again. I don't know if everyone saw the dates are out, and I already put it in my calendar. And I already called my husband, and I was like, "You better take off. Here's the dates. We're going because I'm
That's
speaking."
awesome.
So
That's
I go ahead and
awesome.
request off.
Putting it out there. I love it.
And then financial, we've been working on saving up to do our new construction house build. So finally pulling that and getting it going. Physical health, lose 50 pounds that I gained from having my dang surgery last year. Well, this year really. And then spiritual health, find a church. So attend one a month to find us a new home. So
Thank you so much for sharing. That's so sweet. I love it.
yeah.
I love it. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love making goals. Just keeping up with them is the hard part.
That's great. Oh, same location again. Danielle says Pantheon's in the same location. That place was beautiful, by the way, for everybody who came. The 29th through the 2nd. That's awesome. Thank you, Angie, for sharing that. Anybody else want to share their one-page miracle before we start putting pictures up in the Facebook group, which I think would be super fun if we just show where we're hiding it. It might go in my new clean pantry, actually. I might move it over there. I reorganized my pantry this weekend. My children were very upset about that. They're like, why is all the candy down below? I was like, because we can't look at the candy anymore, people. Oh. I think that Krista just dropped a hint and didn't tell the rest of the info.
Actually, just like, oh yeah, Pantheon, and just kept talking when everybody was like, what's going on? Good job, Krista. And you nonchalantly just kept talking.
I love it. Is there
Check your email, because that's where I found it.
Oh.
Yes, the customer newsletter email came out today, so it is official. So September 30th through October 2nd. And of course, it still runs the same that we've done in the past. So the first day is the welcome, second day is the full day plus the after party, and then the last day being the kind of half day-ish. So.
Love it. Danielle?
To be fair, I didn't really remember all the dates. The exact dates is why I didn't share, because I didn't want to give wrong information.
And yes, it's at the same exact location. So now you know what restaurants are there and what fun activities are around, so you can pre-schedule things. Also, those of you that didn't get a chance to pre-schedule a family vacation around your work to go to Disney World, that's always a great thing to do. So now you have something to work in your goals, because Kristen dropped the bomb.
I have a friend who calls that a bizcation.
Exactly.
When you bring your family, it's a bizcation, which I love. It's a great term, bizcation. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I will shoot some more links by email to you. Angie, if there's anything that I've missed.
Great. We'll send those up in our follow-up email.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Amazing. Great activity to get us thinking and preparing, and just feeling that whole self of all those whole parts of our life, not just work, not just family, but all of those things that make us a complete whole person. I really appreciate that focus today. Thank you so much.
I'm going to say goodbye as I walk on my treadmill below my stand-up desk that I bought that I haven't quite figured out how to work yet.
I love that.
Oh yeah, it works though. No, it works. I got to use it more. So that should be on my goal sheet. Using this thing more.
Nice. Very well. Well, thank you so much on behalf of Lady Titans. We just really appreciate you. We hope you have a wonderful holidays and a wonderful new year. And to all of you Lady Titans, it is so fun to see you. Thank you for making some time to be here with us. We hope you enjoy the next few weeks with your family and use that time to reset, recharge, and get ready to have an amazing 2024.
Yay. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys all next month. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Oh, thank you guys. It was great. Mwah.
Krista, can you forward me the email? I didn't get it.
It was hidden, so you might have gotten it and just not known that it was there.
I didn't even see an email from Service Titan.
Yeah, what time did they send it?
Oh.
It's usually right around 8 or 9 a.m. East Pacific time that we send them.
Yeah, it was 7:15 this morning, Central time.
7:15 Central.
So like,
So
And
that
it was
would
down at the
be
very bottom.
that'd be that's the problem. That's like really early Pacific time. Hold on.
did I just not pay attention?
And also check your spam folder. And if you've ever opted out of any marketing emails, you won't get it either.
I got it. Yeah, 5:15 Pacific.
Yeah, and it was real hidden down at the bottom.
Yep, save the date for Pantheon.
It wasn't like Pantheon announcement email.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely is hidden. I didn't get down that far. That's all.
Can you forward it to Beth and Randy, those email addresses there?
Got Randy. Who else needs it? Jana.
Beth.
And Beth. Anyone else? Randy, Beth,
That was it.
Jana.
Hey, well, great. Great job, guys. Thank you guys for being here.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
See you later.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.